It is no mystery to anyone whether or not the Tennessee Titans are good. We suck. But there can still be reasons why you should waste 3 hours every Sunday watching the Titans play. We're going to start breaking some of those reasons down for you right here on the Titan Bros. Good evening. What is happening, you bunch of Titans fans? Here I am, Gabriel, your host, as always, bringing you another less than ideal video because we have a less than ideal team that we follow. It's kind of fun to talk about winning football. It's a pity I never really get to do it on camera. I can remember back in the days when dinosaurs once ruled the earth, where I was able to talk about Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, and Ryan Tannehill, and Jonnu Smith, and a really dominant offensive line with Taylor Lewan, Jack Conklin, Roger Saffold, Ben Jones. Yeah, I remember those days. I was still so young, so innocent. Now look at me. Now look at my brother. We're old, we're ugly, and we are beat down by loss after loss after loss.
Yes, you're right. Titans suck. They beat us down, and it's tough being a Titan fan.
Yes, it is. So we're in here. We didn't even get to make a preview or a reaction to the beatdown against the Patriots. But here's the thing. I feel very much validated that I didn't even need to watch the game. Because I predicted, I'm not sure if you even saw, because I put out a short about it. I predicted the Patriots would beat the Tennessee Titans 31-13. And for the first time in my entire life, I perfectly predicted the score. We got beat 31-13. So, even though I didn't actually get to watch the game, I clearly knew what was up.
I would say it was odd, though. For a 10-minute period, we was hanging in, though. And then
we were leading.
Yeah, then it went to crap.
It didn't take long. It did not take long. And here's the thing. And this shows the state of our Titans mental state. That was kind of redundant, but you know what I mean. For the first time in over 10 years, I scheduled something right in the window that the Tennessee Titans were playing in my personal life.
Gabriel never does that.
Nope. I've not done it since before we drafted Marcus Mariota. So like 2014 would be like the last time I did that and just purposely missed a game because we're old, but we're actually training for a Turkey Bowl flag tournament next month. So we're going to have a practice on the Saturday before the Patriots game. And the guy said, I can't make, one of our guys said, no, I can't make it that day. Can we do it Sunday at 1:00 instead? And I was like, yep, sure can. So we just totally did that. Didn't miss a thing because, again, I predicted the score correctly. So the game pretty well went as how I thought it would. And yeah, so that shows the mindset that we're currently in.
Yeah, we suck and it's tough to watch. And it just, you run out of things to say after a while of just watching us lose. You know what I mean? Because you know what also sucks to me? I don't see much growth in this team. You know, there's not much of, hey, we lost today, but you know what? I saw us getting better at this, that, whatever, but I don't see that.
Yeah, see, that's literally what I was just getting ready to say, but you took the words right out of my mouth. I was literally just fixing to say, the thing that's frustrating is if you just took out the name of the team we were going against, our recap to the Patriots game, to the Raiders game, to the Colts game, to any of them, they could all be the same. Because basically the issue is the same with all of them. Cam keeps fumbling, and Cam keeps throwing passes that are behind that get tipped for interceptions. Our offensive line's bad. We're injured.
I don't know why.
Yeah, we're always injured. Always injured. Again, still. Because a lot of people really were trying to blame that on Mike Vrabel. But we're just a hurt team all the time. And all the time, we are hurt. That's who we are. Defense starts off solid and then just just breaks down and sucks bad the rest of the game. So again, it doesn't matter which game we're talking about. We could just say all of those things in every single video we make, and you'd be like, "Yep, sounds right."
You know what we should do, Gabriel? Like next week, let's make a recap video where we just don't say the name of the team and we just say basically all the stuff you say. We just say it as like it happened, and then just post that after the next week's game, and it's probably gonna fit perfectly with what happened.
Yeah. That would say we do the
Just don't say
recap
the-
before the game. Just do the recap before
yeah.
the game. Be like, well, we got our butts kicked just like we thought. I can't believe we had those drops. And how many sacks are we going to allow this season? Just basically, the defense looked good for about 2.5 drives. Then the wheels came off and then they just pulled away. And we just put that out, or we just record it and have it scheduled to start as soon as the game's over.
Yeah.
And probably
because you know what? It's probably gonna be true.
It's sad and it's depressing. Do you want to have anything else you want to add before I dive into the meat of what this video is kind of about?
Just real quick, Colts are gonna kick our butt. Okay, go ahead.
They are. And the title of today's episode is why you should still watch the Titans. It's no mystery the Tennessee Titans suck. In fact, we might even be worse than we were last year, which is crazy to me.
I was talking to a coworker when I said that. I think we were worse than last year, and last year we was awful.
Which is crazy. I am not ready to say Will Levis is better than Cam Ward. In fact, I don't think I'll ever say that. But our offense was better last year than it is this year.
And our
offense is unwatchable. It is so unwatchable. Like, we can't get, like, we had trouble scoring. Number 17 was our magic number last year. For some reason, we could not, with 17 points is what we scored almost every game, seemingly. Yeah. Now, it's 13 points. And not just that, we can't get first downs. We cannot get a first down. We make it look so hard. We might get a first down every now and again. And then the next drive, we just do some inefficient runs, and then we punt it away. But anyways, back to what I was saying. We suck, as expected. Barely watchable. But the reasons we should still be watching the Tennessee Titans. Reason number one. Cam Ward, even though I think this would be dumb and this would be hasty, Cam Ward needs to start showing growth because some people, and somebody who might be on our list, remember Cliff Kingsbury? Old Cliff? Remember what he did when he got hired by the Cardinals?
Got Colin Murray?
He did. Do you remember what they did the draft before that?
Josh Rosen?
Correct. Josh Rosen, top 10, right? Was he top 10?
9, I want to say.
Yeah, I think so. So we'll say 9. I'll just trust you and put my neck out there. 9 overall. They picked Josh Rosen. He only ended up, I think, starting half of his rookie season.
Didn't look
good. And Cliff Kingsbury comes and says, yeah, 1, he didn't look good. 2, not my guy. 3, we have the number 1 overall pick, which we might end up having again. He's like, all right, let me go after my guy. I'm the coach. I need my guy. Let's do it. So 1, that's one thing Cam Ward needs to think. And that's something we need to watch, and why we should still be watching Titans game. We need to watch Cam Ward to see if, not that it changes anything, but just to see if he is indeed shows enough spark to be our guy, at least for next year.
I don't want to sound hasty here, but let's just say Cam Ward has not looked good. Not one little bit. He looks terrible. And every week I get less impressed.
Here's the thing. He'll have about 5 wow throws every week. But here's the problem. He throws about 30 times every week. It's like those 5 throws, you're like, wow, this is why he was drafted overall. That's beautiful touch. It's a beautiful throw. It's a beautiful whatever. Like the touchdown last week to Chim DK. Just chef kiss. Love it.
It was a good pass.
But then there's just so many times where he takes a sack. Where he takes a sack because has a clean pocket and he runs out of it for some reason. Or you'll have a turnover where he, like I remember one of them where he just stupid sidearmed it, like did a crazy sidearm. If it was a completion, it would look sick. But he did it for no reason, and it was a behind the pass. It was tipped up in the air and intercepted just like 4 weeks ago. Where you're like, what was that? And then 2 or 3 drives after that, he'll just have just such a beautiful timing out route where the guy just catches it right, toe drag swag on the side. And just beautiful. Like, oh, I love that. Then the next play, he just starts holding onto the ball forever and just pats it out of his own hand for no reason and fumbles. Where, don't get me wrong, I'll go ahead and put my my position out there on the interwebs. I do not think the Tennessee Titans, under any circumstance, should move on from Cam Ward as the starter after the year. I think you have to give any person at least a year and a half, preferably 2 years. That's just my opinion. You got to give them at least 2 years before you move on. But that does not always happen.
Yeah, I agree. It's on the table for whatever the coach we get, but I agree with you. It should not happen.
But we'll see. We'll see. You got anything you want to say about that before we move on to the next?
No, sir.
Another thing we need to watch with these Titans games, because the score just gets to a point where it doesn't even matter. Can trade assets boost their trade value? There are people like Roger McCreary, Chigakonkwo, and honestly, even Calvin Ridley, where people are like, yeah, they're not going to be brought back. Now, 2 of them are on expiring contracts. Calvin Ridley is not, but a lot of people are just acting like these folk are not going to be on the Titans team next year.
Real quick, if we could have Calvin Ridley, we better have a plan B, because I'm not liking Iron Man as much as I did. But go ahead.
Yeah, sadly, now it's a bad thing and a good thing at the same time. Alec Ironmander, where's my hand? There it is. Alec Ironmander started up here. It was doing nice, and then he's kind of been, Chim was down here.
Yeah.
Chim's kind of there. So, like, our rookie wide receivers, well, they're having an expected up and down rookie campaign as, rookie wide receivers. But yeah, I agree with you there. We need a plan at wide receiver. Actually, what we really need is a plan at cornerback. This could be another video all out of itself. Most people are saying, yeah, now that L'Jarius Sneed's on IR, he's done. He's never playing another snap for the Titans. Here's the thing.
What
we
a
had
terrible acquisition.
Yeah, that didn't work. So we had L'Jarius Sneed. We had Chidobe Awuzie. We had Jarvis Brownlee. That's a nice trio of outside corners, and Roger McCreary in the slot. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Before the season starts, we decided to cut Cheeto. After 2 or 3 games, we decided to trade Jarvis. And then after the season, we're going to let Roger McCreary walk and L'Jarius Sneed. We're probably cutting him. We'll have 0 starting cornerbacks.
So we have no corners, no pass rush, and if we let Calvin walk, no receivers.
Correct. And that's why we have to start hitting on draft picks. We have to start hitting on draft picks because basically all we're doing is if we have a decent-ish receiver, we trade him, like DeAndre Hopkins. Or if we have a decent-ish receiver like Calvin Ridley, actually Calvin Ridley's good if he's healthy and not dropping. Probably cutting him. I think he might be on the trading block right now. Teams are interested in him, per Diana Rossini. And if he does survive the season, we're probably cutting him because he's getting paid too much. L'Jarius Sneed, probably getting cut after the season. We don't have players. We don't have players. Like, we need to seriously... And like, I've heard people talk about trading T'Vondre Sweat. I'm like, why?
Why would we do that?
No idea, but I'm saying we have 2 more years of cheap labor for this guy. And not just that, he's borderline a first-round pick. Why would we trade him?
That would be just mind-blowing, to be honest.
It would be. We need to start hanging on to some of these people. And you know what? Originally, I was like, whatever, about Roger McCreary leaving after the season. No, resign the guy. We have way too many holes. And we talk about we need to draft, we need to develop, we need to what's the word they use? Draft, develop. Retain. That's it. Yep, retain. Why not just sign him back? We have so much stupid money, it's unreal.
I would say we have this money, but our roster has got more holes than Swiss cheese. Why in the heck are we not using it a little bit? I know what the motto is draft, develop, and retain, but we're not retaining. and we just got so many holes. So, and I don't know you, but with our owner, and I seriously want to ask Mr. Mike Bergonzi, like, do you think you'll still be here with another 3-14 year? Not this year, but I'm like, if next year's 3-14 again, like, you need to do something.
That's kind of what I agree with. I want to tell you. I want to tell him the same thing. Mr. Borgonzi, you do know that you get about 2 years, maybe, and then she'll fire you. If you're Brian Callahan, you get, 23 games or whatever it was. So, yes, I completely agree with you. If he wants to do this thing slowly the right way, then he needs to do that for another team because Amy's not going to allow for that. We have tons of money. We need to quit cutting people and trading people just to do it. Because, I was against us cutting Cheeto. Was he overpaid? Yeah, he's getting $12 million a year for 3 years.
But what you do with that money?
Correct. We're cutting him, but then not doing anything. We're just like, cut him, get him off the team. We're just gonna put this in our back pocket, which does nothing. I guess maybe it's nice for Amy. She has more money in her pocket, but it literally does nothing for the Tennessee Titans. You know what I'm trying to say? Like if you were up against the cap and you didn't have the money, that makes sense. But when we had tons, we still have like 30 something million, I think. I think you're frozen. I'm just gonna talk because you're back. Okay. Do you agree with everything I just said? Like, why are we cutting people?
Yes. Oh yeah, I definitely heard that. I agree.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Kind of got off on a side tangent there. These
Yeah,
are the kind of videos. These are the kind of videos we probably need to have, but probably in the off season, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyways, we need to start watching people that might be on the trade block and hoping that one, they play well, and two, don't get hurt. Because like Calvin Ridley, I actually saw a trade proposal saying the Titans send Calvin Ridley and a 6th, and we get a 5th and a 3rd. I was like if we plan on just cutting him after the season, I'd be down for getting a 5th and a 3rd for him. So we need
yeah.
Good.
I was just curious if you think a team's actually going to do that.
Maybe. But him being hurt's what's really kind of hurting his trade value, quite literally. Roger McCreary, I just saw something from Diana Rossini just today saying something about Roger McCreary getting trade interest. So these people need to start actually stringing together some good games so we can actually get some capital. Because one thing I don't want to do, 6th and 7th round picks. Trading players for 6th or 7th are about useless, especially if they're a solid player. If there's someone like Arden Key, who he's literally a backup for us, trade him for a 6th or 7th. I don't care. He's a backup for us, and he's walking at the end of the year. But like if it's someone like Roger McCreary, who's a starter, unless you have zero plans on bringing him back, say, hey, this guy, we're not just going to give him away. So like try to get a 4th. You know what I'm trying to say? But anyways, I'm wanting the people that are on the trade block to get healthy, and I want them to keep putting up big numbers because it's only going to be a good thing for us if they play well. All right. Reason number 3 why you should still be watching the Tennessee Titans. We need to watch these young people develop and grow to see what holds for the future we actually have. Because like if at the end of the season, now I want us to go get either a high dollar veteran or first round pick at wide receiver. But like if Iomander and Chim both start really picking it up by the end of the year, and they're both just really good wide receivers not as big of a hole. If Gunnar Helm ends up supplanting Chig as the starter and Gunnar looks really nice, we don't really have any need at all for tight end anywhere near the top of a draft class. You get what I'm saying? Smell what I'm stepping in? It's like basically it means I'm watching these year 1 and year 2 people, seeing how they look to know whether or not we need to replace them, give them competition, or if we're unbelievably good at that position.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I was thinking. One of the top things is we got a couple young people out there. Let's see what they got. Because we suck, we know we're going to lose, but let's might as well see what our young people has to offer.
Yeah, which kind of makes me depressed about Xavier Restrepo and his place in the depth chart.
Yeah, I know we would call Mason Kinsey, but I'm like, we suck as a team. So I almost like want to put all of our young people in, even if you don't think the next best option, you still just put them in to see what they got. Because who cares if we win or lose?
Yeah, and plus we know what Mason Kinsey is. Because, at this point, I knew it because all the Titans reporters were saying it, but it is official Xavier Restrepo was the last wide receiver of the depth chart. Because with Lockett gone, with Ridley hurt, we promoted Mason Kinsey to the active roster, and then James Prochet was a game day elevation. So literally, Xavier Restrepo is the only wide receiver who's not going to be dressed up on Sunday, which is really crazy to me. And this is another video, a side video. Anybody you wanted to Google, whether it's PFF, whether it was ESPN, whether it's just the NFL website, all of them would have their pre-draft wide receiver rankings on every single one of them. Restrepo was top 10.
Yep.
All of them.
Yes, I know people talking about, is he a 3rd or maybe a 4th round receiver? and he went
Correct.
undrafted, and he can't make it crappy teams receiving core.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. So, like, I know, and this was even after his slow 40-yard dash time, which you've seen him play football. You know he's not fast. So it's like, how did that catch anybody off guard? How on earth did he go from being he'll slide to the end of the third round, maybe the beginning of the fourth round. That's where you can get a Xavier Restrepo. To suddenly he goes undrafted, Titans sign him, can't make the worst wide receiving core in the league, goes to the practice squad. Anybody in the league can sign him off the Titans practice squad to their active roster if they want to. The whole league's against him, or not, impressed by him. And the Titans have him sitting way down there. I'm like, how did this happen so quickly?
Beats me.
Yep, it don't make any kind of sense to me. But what do I know? What do I know? You got any honorable mention reasons why people should still be watching the Tennessee Titans after proving that we still suck?
Well, the main one I was thinking, you just kind of hit. I was thinking, let's see what Eric Iomano and Chim DK has. What do they have to offer? But you kind of just touched that. And like you said earlier, too, so I'm just kind of repeating you, but Eric Iomano start off strong, and he's getting worse, I feel like, week by week, and then Chim DK is the opposite. I feel like I was beginning to think, like, is this guy just not a good receiver? And I'm like, he's a good returner, don't get me wrong. But I'm like, I just feel like with he's just not running good routes, or they're not calling it for him. But I feel like lately he's looking a lot better on that.
Yeah, not just that, but he's gonna, and I like this. I do like this a lot. Rarely do I compliment the Titans, and you know what? Titans might not even have that much to do with it. But Tyler Lockett asking and being granted his release is amazing because now Chim DK is the starting slot wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to get a chance to prove. Because again, we're not competitive. We're not even competitive in games, much less competitive in the NFL. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So this season legitimately is, who do we have? Let's see it all.
I would say this. Next offseason, let's not bring in a Tyler Lockett or a Tyler Boyd receiver. Okay, let's actually get ourselves a good receiver in the free agency if that's what you want to do. I'm tired of us getting these receivers who's completely washed and useless.
They like to get extra washed and useless with us because like even Tyler Boyd had 600 yards the year before we got him, and then we get him and he has like 200. And then Tyler Lockett last year had 600 yards, and he comes in and he had like not much at all. I think they said he was averaging 10 yards a game, so
Sweet.
Helps that our passing offense is dead.
Our offense is dead.
What's
his name? Bo something. He didn't really help at all, I don't think.
Bo Hardegree. Yeah,
he
Bo Hardegree. Yeah, actually, he's been worse. Remember, his first game as offensive coordinator, we had this many points.
Yeah, that's true. I would say I really don't want to keep Mike McCoy, but the way things are looking, I don't think he's going to hold on to the job.
No, this is so mean, hurtful, disrespectful even. I don't watch any of his clips. I don't watch any of his interviews because when he's talking, like I've heard him talk, because I watched his introduction one, and I'm just like, I don't care. You know what I'm trying to say? I know it sounds mean, but when I'm here, I'm talking, I'm like, you're just an offensive assistant. You mean basically nothing to our team. You're just and he even sounds robotic. I'm like, you're literally just a robot to spit out the why to whatever decision. You just give us the why.
We got to coach better. We got to play better.
We got to coach better. We got to play better. And then that's basically all it is. Mm-hmm. And then when he has his little updates and talks about what he's trying to do in practice, I'm like, I don't even care. And that sounds so hateful and mean and disrespectful. Like, you're a nobody. You're a was been like, there's a reason that nobody's given you a head coaching retry in the last decade. And it's just like, I don't know. Like, I honestly would have made this. And actually, I know this is unpopular, but I would have rather just stick it out with Callahan.
I think I would have too, to be honest. Maybe. At the moment, sometimes I'm like, get rid of him. But I'm like, why not? Because Mike McCoy didn't do nothing for us.
No. And we didn't even get the little jump, the little interim jump.
I think sometimes, to be honest, final coach in the middle of the season is kind of a useless move, to be honest.
Yeah, it just kind of throws everything in a disarray. Everything was already in a disarray, but like even more so. Just let Callahan keep coaching us to loss after loss after loss, and then and then fire him after the season and then
Yes,
move on from
exactly.
that. I don't know. Got any other reasons to keep watching the Titans? I kind of sprung this whole video topic on you 3 minutes before we went live, so you haven't really had time to sit and think about it. But like, I just like, can we do a Colts preview? Who gives a crap? They're about to destroy us. They just got super healthy, and we just got super hurt. L'Jarius Sneed on IR. Jeffrey Simmons not gonna play. Calvin Ridley not gonna play. Arden Key not gonna play. Like, we are so bad and so banged up. They're apparently elite and getting healthier. Like, the game's gonna be disgusting.
It is, and I feel like everything you said is true. And another reason, and the last reason, is because no matter how sucky they are, they're your team, and you gotta root for them now. So when we are on top, we can say we watched them, even though we sucked.
It's true. It's like that meme I'm sure you've seen where it's like the original meme is an old man and an old woman sitting on a park bench and it's raining.
Yeah.
He's like, you can tell they're mad at each other, but he's still holding the umbrella over her, keeping her dry. It's that meme, but the old lady is the Tennessee Titans. They're like, we're mad at them. We say with our mouth that we hate the Tennessee Titans, but we're still Titans fans and we still got the umbrella keeping the old Titans logo dry. But that being said, I think that's all I got. Got anything you want to add before we just skedaddle?
No, I think not. I think we just suck. You can hear the excitement in our voices talking about this team.
Yeah. We didn't watch the game last week. We didn't make a preview or a recap, and I don't think either of us even overly upset about it.
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, I guess that's all I got, everybody. So tighten up, peace out, and all that jazz.